When was the last time that you felt genuinely alive? Buzzing about your life, your daily life, not the holidays, not the big fucking events and stuff that you do that's obviously fun. Your day-to-day life. When was the last time you caught yourself going, do you know what? I'm living the fucking dream here day in, day out. Probably never. Because most people aren't. Most people aren't excited about their life. They find moments of excitement, but that isn't being excited about your life. Maybe you're not fully aware of this yet. Maybe you know it, but you don't say it out loud. Everyone's just accepted that this is just how life is, and you're not meant to be buzzing about it all the time. You've got a 400 trillion in one chance of existing right now, of being alive, of experiencing this, and feeling and creating whatever you want to create. The fact we exist is fucking ridiculous. You can't even get your head around it. What this whole thing is. It's magic, right? And what have we decided the best thing or the best way to spend and use that gift is? Create a system where everybody wakes up, travels to work in traffic with all of the other people in rush hour or on public transport. Go and work a job that you couldn't give a flying fuck about, with a load of people you don't care about, for a boss that probably doesn't even know you exist. Trading all of your time for a paycheck and doing that 5 days a week just to get 2 off at the weekend. And then if you do that for 365 days, we'll reward you with 28 days that you can take off. How about that? You're gonna be massively underpaid. You're gonna be taxed to the fucking nines on every pound that you make. And while that's happening, the cost of everything else is gonna go through the roof. Houses up, food up, petrol up, your wage is gonna stay the same. There's nothing normal about this. There really is nothing normal about this. It's an illusion that society's been placed under. And we've just been conditioned to accept it, because that is all you know from the moment you're born. You're born into your generation, but the generation that preceded you, your parents, they're used to it. It's like the great lie that nobody speaks about. And you've bought into it so completely and so fully, so is the rest of the world. You don't even notice it. You don't even notice that you're not absolutely buzzing about your life and that that's a problem. You're not aware of it, 1. 2, most people that are made aware of it like this, it won't even register. They'll probably fucking click off this video. The fact that I'm saying this in this, the opening of this, my YouTube video here, and for most people, it'll be the first time they've ever heard anything like this. Some people would even fucking say, mate, this is too far for me. It's a bit conspiracy-ish. When it's just the fucking truth. It shows you the level of conditioning. Most people are sleepwalking in like this hypnotic, zombie-like state in their one shot at life. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly why that's happened, why that's happening right now to you, and also what you're going to do immediately after watching this video, because you don't have the time to waste. None of us have the time to waste. Time is the most precious commodity to ever exist. People have no problem wasting time. And it's just the most backwards fucking thing ever. Money, something they can always get more of, hoard it. Time, disappearing right in front of your fucking face. The first 5 minutes of you watching, this video, you never get those 5 minutes back. And I'm glad you're still here. We need to use our time more wisely. And you need to take action off the back of this video, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do at the end of this video, so stick around for that. But you've got to do something about this. Because what's the point of this existence and this life if you don't absolutely love every fucking minute? What's the point? What's the point in turning up to that bullshit job all the time just to be paid way under your worth? To then worry and stress and be anxious about bills and how you're going to fucking pay for your MOT and all this shit. Society has made you think small because you used to think big. If you think back to when you were a kid, every single kid wanted to be an astronaut or a footballer or a movie star. And that just came from somewhere within you. That was something you actually wanted. And then the world got to you, or you got exposed to the world. You went through the education system, and then you're exposed to the mainstream media, the government, the propaganda that's pushed, and now you're realistic as an adult. You know, you were unrealistic as a kid, now you're realistic. You dream smaller than you've ever dreamed before in your life. And this is typical for the older you get, like the smaller you dream, if you don't break out of this. We live in a time now where we've got more opportunity than ever before. AI at your fingertips, all of these fucking ways to make money and escape the traditional system. And at the same time, society has never been more docile. They've never been weaker. It gets to a point where you've got to ask yourself, why have you accepted this for so long? And for most of you, you won't have even been aware that it's even happening, right? But now that you are aware, now that you're watching this video and you're opening your eyes, why have you accepted this for so long? And what will it take? How much more do you need to realize? How much worse does it need to get for you to just go, right, do you know what? Yeah, I do need to take fucking action. I've got one life. Time is of the essence. I don't know how much longer I've got left. You know, try and actually answer those questions by the end of this video or at the end of this video, because it just opens it up even more in your mind. Why have you accepted this? Try and answer that. Why are you in the middle of just accepting this? I want you to genuinely try and write an answer down for that. And you'll realize how fucking retarded this whole situation is. You feel it, but it gets ignored. And for most people, I don't even think it registers, but you at least know about it now. You're at least aware of it now. But it's so deep, it's invisible. And because it's widespread, you don't hear people talking about it. I feel like I've got a duty of care to share it with at least the people that watch my shit. Nobody told me. You know, I've just figured this out myself. But it's a lie. You know, that what we're living in is pretty much fucking lie. It's an illusion. Pardon the stuttering. It's an illusion where people think they're completely powerless. They give up all of their sovereignty. And they give up their dreams because they just think it's unrealistic. So if you don't think you're powerful, if you don't think you can be the creator in your life and you've just got to be the consumer, you've just got to accept what comes to you, which is wrong. That is the default mode that people are operating in now. But the real default mode for us as humans is we are all creators. We can make this life and this existence into whatever we want it to be. And the way we live completely just ignores that. The system we live in strips that away, and you forget that. You forget how crazy this all is. And life is exciting. It is exciting. It's brimming with life. But you've got to train yourself to see that, and you've got to train yourself to get that, and to get that in your mind. It's not luck to have an exciting life, right? When you see people that have an exciting life and you think, fucking hell, it's right up my street, that. Oh well, maybe in another life. You don't get another life. If you don't have an exciting life right now, it's because you haven't decided to go and fucking make one. That's it. And the truth in the lie that we live in is you've stopped thinking big because you don't believe you can attain a big life. You don't believe a big life, a cool life is available to people like you. You think it's for the 1%, the people who get lucky. That's not from laziness. It's been trained out of you. This is the point of the whole video. The way we live, you're just conditioned to automatically assume that you've got to be a 1%er to get that cool life. Belief is the key thing here. Belief directly correlates to what you believe you can achieve. And right now, if this video's hitting, if this video's resonating with you, and you have been living a boring life up until this point, then the reason you haven't pursued a cool life is because your self-belief and trust and confidence, based on the evidence you've got in your life of what you've achieved, how you live, the amount of discipline you've got, your ability to say no to things that you know should stay away from, getting out of bad habits, doing good habits, all of that, the evidence that you've got about how you operate. If that's low, what you think you can achieve is going to be low. So that it's not even worth setting a goal, because it's not exciting. But if you're someone who's gone through hardship and you live with structure and discipline, and you've completely changed as a person, as I've documented and spoke about my journey before, many times going from rock bottom, sniffing fucking deodorant through a towel and doing all these other substances to escape, to now, where I'm at now, that change, back then I didn't believe I would even have what I've got now, because I didn't have any trust and confidence in myself. So when I'm looking at I want to change my life, I'm not thinking of anything big. And when I'm not thinking of anything big and it's a small goal, that doesn't excite me. And then you settle. And it's emphasized, or not emphasized, that's the wrong word. It's made easy to do because the world we live in is built for it. It's built for comfort. It's built for laziness. It's built for easy now and then deal with the consequences later. You got to go against the grain. You got to pursue hard now. You got to avoid comfort because it seems harmless, but you'll pay for it. You just pay for it later down the line. And it's like a credit score. Think of it this way. Think of credit score, okay? Belief and credit score. The higher your belief, the more you believe, you can realistically achieve. And the higher that is, the more exciting naturally it's going to be than, something down here. It's going to be more freedom and more money and more fulfillment and doing a job, that was your dream job when you were a kid or whatever, but you actually believe you can attain it. That's going to pull you forward in life. So you've got to build your credit score. You've got to build belief. And you can do that. You can do that. That's your input for the output. You want a cooler life. You want to be more excited. You want to feel, more fulfilled about what you're pursuing and why you're getting up in the morning and why you even exist. Why you're going through the hardship, which we all have to go through, and the challenge and the adversity. You can build that up. That's the output that you want. You want to be really fucking G'd up and excited about your life. Okay, focus on the input. Belief. Stack fucking wins. Every single day when you live with discipline and you have some kind of blueprint to follow, which I speak about a lot, a daily blueprint, habits, training boxes, going to the gym, 10,000 steps, cardio, whatever it is, nutrition, business stuff or work stuff, personal things. It's like a deposit into the bank account of trust, right? And over time, that builds the credit score. And this is kind of happening in the background with the gym and fitness lifestyle. I'm very hyper aware of it now because obviously I'm helping other people to do it. So I have to understand it on a deeper level and put that into my content. So I'm thinking about it all the time. So I'm hyper aware of it. But when you go down the gym route, the fitness driven route, it doesn't always seem like anything's fucking happening. Building muscle takes time, right? Hitting your macros. Maybe you're in a fat loss phase. Maybe you are seeing the scales coming down, but it's not happening rapid. But what's happening underneath the surface that you don't see is that belief is starting to fucking gain momentum. And once that happens, your vision grows and the goals get bigger and they become more vivid and more detailed and like you can really see it in your mind and now you really fucking want it. And it grows as you grow. And I say this to clients all the time, what you're working towards, your North Star vision, right? You've got goals underneath the North Star vision, but your North Star vision, the main thing you want from life, it's almost like a carrot on a stick. It should always be there. It should always be at arm's length. I'm so close, I could almost get it, but I can't just grab it. It's not just at the point where I'm just gonna, chill again and I'm gonna get comfortable. It's always just out of arm's reach. And I can see it, I can fucking taste it, I can smell it. And as I grow, it gets a little bit bigger and I'm growing with it. And it's just constantly pulling you forward. And this is a process of, momentum. And that gives you your spark. That gives you the thing that you've been missing all this time. Every single morning, my alarm goes off at 4:15 and I wake up just before 4:15 every single day. I'm just trained to it now. And I'm straight up. And it's like, okay, fucking another day. To-do list is already written. I've already been fucking hyper fixated on the singular tasks that I've got to do today, because it's just on my mind all the time. That's how I feel about my life now. Again, I'm not trying to rub this in, but I'm saying this is how you want to be operating. You don't have to jump from where you are now to try and find something like this, but you've got to make some moves towards it. You have to make some moves towards it. You've got to get that spark back. You have to. If you don't feel 10 out of 10 excitement for what you're doing. I'm not saying every day is going to be positive. I'm not saying you're going to be happy all the time. But if you don't have a 10 out of 10 excitement for what you're pursuing, your main North Star vision, what's the fucking point of this whole thing? What is the point? What's the point of being alive? What's the point of living? What's the point of participating in this world if you don't feel a 10 out of 10 excitement? You need that. And not only do you need that fucking now. You can't go another day without this. But it's directly tied to belief. You could go your entire life if you don't sort this out and just like not even understand what you've missed out on. And this is what happens. Most people go from birth to the grave without clocking any of this, without understanding anything that I've spoken about today, and they die not realizing they had infinite potential and they could have done whatever they wanted. Now you're watching this video. You're now not going to be one of those people because I've planted the seed. Some of you will fucking get it from watching this. Some of you are going to get it in like 6 months. So remember that video that I watched, and yeah, it's going to, makes a bit more sense. But you're not going to be that person that it flies under the radar. You're going to be aware of it. You can't be the guy on his deathbed going, fuck. What the fuck have I done? Why have I wasted this opportunity? You can't be that guy, right? There is no wake-up call coming. There's no one coming into your life that's going to sort it out. This is technically a bit of a wake-up call, but there's no one coming into your life that's going to fucking slap you around the face, grab you by the scruff of the neck and go, sort this shit out. I'm going to try and do it through content. I'm going to try and motivate you to do it. But ultimately, nobody's going to come and fucking do that. Because nobody cares about your life as much as you care about your life. And they shouldn't. I know you got parents, I know you got a girlfriend, I know you got best mates and all these people that care for you and love you, but they're not going to put their life on hold to come and sort yours out. And they shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't put yours on hold to go and sort someone else's, because we're all dealing with our own things. You've got to be a team player, you've got to help out your people, right? I'm not saying that, but if nobody's going to come and sort your life out, that means it's on you. And that's fucking fine. That sounds daunting. You're the one who's in charge, right? If you're not happy, you've got to do something. It's dangerous to not hit rock bottom, because rock bottom for me acted like a slingshot. It pulled me so far down that I had no choice but to go up. There was another option that could have potentially happened, which was going further down, which I think you know what I'm hinting at there, which I think could have happened for someone else in that position. But I got pulled so far down, I was just like, I'm sorting this out. And I'm grateful for that. But the problem is, most people that I'm describing right now, potentially you, when you get caught in that middle area, the grey zone, where it doesn't ever get to rock bottom, but you're constantly fighting these battles that life's given you, this lie of a society is giving you, where you're just chasing fucking money in the rat race all the time, trying to fucking pay bills in a constant fight or flight response. You just drift. And it never gets bad enough to the point where you've got to go and sort it out. And that's why I'm grateful that things got so bad for me, because, it led to me sorting it out. But if you're not hitting rock bottom, on one hand, you've got to be thankful. On the other, you've got to recognize that, okay, well, it's in my hands to go and fucking change it. Otherwise, your whole life will be lived way below your potential. And now you know about it, you're going to regret that later down the line. That is the real danger of this, right? You have to raise your standards. You have to build the belief inside of you. Forget the output for a second, right? Obviously, I'm trying to say you need the spark back. But how you get the spark back isn't by focusing on the output of, okay, what am I going to do in life? It's just nailing the input side of it for now. That's what it is right now for you. You've got to become someone different than who you are. You've got to hold yourself to a higher standard. You've got to live with more discipline and more structure. And, you know, there's many ways you can do it. I said at the start of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do today, right fucking now, to not allow this to continue any longer. Because this can't wait till tomorrow. This can't wait till next week or next month or next year. You don't have as much time as you think. So my call to action for you guys, right? Do something right this second after you finish this video. It could be something fucking massive. It could be something tiny. What I did in my life, and I recommend this for everyone, is I just went all fucking in. I didn't get it right. I wasn't perfect, but I said, you know what? I've got to do something now. All in on fitness, all in on the gym, all in on running, all in on trying to fix this. I'm going to do as much as I possibly can. I wasn't perfect, didn't get it right, took a few years, but I just decided enough's enough. All the chips are in. But you don't even need to do that. But you have to do something, and it could be something as small as going, okay, tomorrow I'm creating a new routine. You know, you write it down now. I'm saying you've got to do something fucking now. If you're serious about this, do it after you've watched this video, right? Plan something out for tomorrow. Change your calendar around. Get up half an hour earlier this week. Monitor your screen time better. Don't watch Netflix on an evening. Pick up a book. So many things you can do just to deposit into that bank account and build the credit score, build the belief. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter to begin with. You know, eventually you've got to get to the bigger stuff, but right now you've just got to do something fucking different. You've got to stop accepting your condition, or the conditioning, I should say. You've got to stop accepting the conditioning. And you've got to start pursuing something that you actually fucking want. Something that genuinely excites you. Something that's worth fucking going through the hardship and challenge that we all have to go through anyway. Right? You know, you've got to understand this. People that choose an easy life now have a hard life later, and people that choose a hard life now have an easy life later. But everyone has to face hardship either way. In one of them, you get exactly what you want, and down the other path, you just end up with an unfulfilling life. So you need the spark back. And the way you build the spark back is by building self-belief. Best way to do that, guys, is fitness. You can start small, you can start on the micro level, but ultimately you gotta get up to those bigger levels at some point. So find your spark, get back to living how we should have always been living before society fucking drilled it out of us. Live with excitement and joy and happiness. Otherwise, what's the fucking point?